welcome back to the Shivering Mouse. I'm so excited to have you back with me this week. This week we're going to touch on something a little bit different. I'm going to give you my personal top 10 treats at Walt Disney World. I say treats instead of snacks because these are going to lean kind of on the sweet side. I may do a savory version. Oh, there goes Bailey. A savory version sometime in the future, but I'm starting with sweets just because they're pretty easy to think of and list off. Thought I'd go with something just kind of a little different this week. Kind of in the mood for something different, you know? So, the first one I'm going to go ahead and list in my top 10, starting 10 and backwards, are the zebra domes. You can usually find these almost everywhere at almost every kind of buffet or table service restaurant, at Signature Dining. Most specifically, I always see them at Boma in the Animal Kingdom Lodge, but you know, you can find them almost anywhere. So they're pretty common. They're these little dome-like cakes with kind of a mousse-like filling with white chocolate and then ziggity-zaggity dark chocolate on top of it. They are kind of a bitter chocolate for me. They're absolutely delicious because they have the word chocolate in it, so I'm not marking it down at all, but the reason why it is at number 10 is because it is a little bit more of a bitter chocolate for my personal taste. If you're more of a dark chocolate fan though, or a coffee fan, if you kind of like those bitters, you may really enjoy zebra cakes, so definitely give them a try. Number 9 on my list is trail mix, and I know I said these are going to be sweet, and some of these trail mixes are, so I went ahead and put them under the sweet category. There are, of course, various sweet and savory aspects to trail mix, so it may not be specifically sweet, but all over the Disney parks, resorts, everywhere you go, you're going to find various trail mixes. They have different characters on each type of trail mix, so one of them has Goofy, one has Chip and Dale, and that one's a little more nutty. I loved having these around. It's a great way to get some protein in, kind of a healthier option if you're looking to snack around at the parks. You want something that you can carry with you, but is not super unhealthy. That's going to give you just the nutrition you need to make it to your next sit down. If you're part of the regular Disney dining plan, you know, you've got a quick service and a table service meal that day. So you're not going to have your traditional 3-meal a day. So planning your snack credits wisely and picking something with protein like a trail mix can really help stretch you out to that next meal. Number 8, I chose funnel cakes. These, probably my favorites, are specifically over by the America Pavilion in Epcot. I love funnel cakes and elephant ears and all of those kind of snackaroos, and how you can get them kind of sweet. You can get fruit on top, you can get sugar and cinnamon on top. They're pretty flexible. I kind of like treats that you can customize a little bit like that, and I like pastry. I like doughy things, which is why I've gotten kind of chubby, but I'm working on it, as you can see here. So yeah, watch out for those, but also they're delicious. You're on vacation, you know, eat some carbs while you're on vacation. You can burn them off when you get home. It's number 7. I usually have as kind of a breakfast favorite, and that is the cheese danishes. These you can find at almost any quick service at any of the resorts. You can also find them at the bakery on Main Street, USA, and they're absolutely delicious. Fair warning, you may want to split them because they are like the size of my head. They're really, really big cream cheese danishes, but they're absolutely delicious. These, I mean, particular pastries are good almost anywhere, but for some reason at Disney they have that special Disney flair, and they're just especially good. Cream cheese danishes, they're lovely to take with you and just kind of walk around your resort, pretty mobile. Again, you may want to split them. They're humongous, and I'm a pretty good eater, so when I say something's humongous and splittable, most people are going to be very comfortable splitting that item. Number 6 on my list is Dole Whip. For those of you who know me well, you know pineapple is my favorite thing in the world, so you knew this was going to show up on the list. You knew it was going to. Now, I believe you can still get this at the Polynesian Resort. I haven't heard any rumors recently about them removing it, and you can, from what I hear, fill your own cone. So you can really put a lot of Dole Whip in there. You can, of course, also get it at Adventureland, which is where I usually get it, just because it really kind of puts you in that mood of going through Adventureland. You feel like you're tropical, you know, on a tropical destination, like you're far away. And the Dole Whip really adds to that. It's fantastic. And it's cool. Let's be real. It's going to be a hot, humid day at Disney, more likely than not. I know sometimes December to mid-March can be a little cooler, but that still leaves most of the rest of the year. So odds are it's going to be hot. Go in for a little bit of Dole Whip. Number 5 I put is a classic. It's kind of the dessert everybody thinks of when they think of Disney World. It is the Mickey Premium Bar. You know, your vanilla ice cream with the 2 ears and the Mickey head? Yeah, that guy with the chocolate over it. It's fantastic. I know you can buy these at the store and take them home with you now. For some reason, I don't know why, let's call it magic because it fits in with the theme, they're not the same. Even though they're Disney brand, they have Mickey on the package, you buy them at the store, you bring them home, it's not the same. I don't know what changes mysteriously happen throughout them getting transported, but they're just better at the park. It makes no sense. It's not logical, but it's true. Take it from me. I've been there 18 times. Mickey bars are better at the parks. Next is kind of an unusual one. These are the candy or chocolate covered apples that are decorated, themed to the different parks, different characters. Specifically, I'm thinking of the ones at the Candy Cauldron in Disney Springs because that has kind of a villain twist to it. You can get like your traditional red candy coated apple with like a green slime that makes like a skull face down there, kind of like Snow White's apple. You can get Mike and Sully ones, just and then more traditional ones with like Oreos and peanuts and crazy stuff topped all over. I've loved chocolate and candy messy apples since I was in college. I don't know why that's when it hit me. As a kid, I always thought they were kind of sticky and messy, and I didn't like to be sticky and messy because it was always kind of caramel apples. But then when I got older, I realized people can put things other than caramel on these apples. You know, they can put peanut butter and chocolate and candy chunks, and that's absolutely fantastic and delicious. I like to slice them up after I take a picture of it being as cute as it is, because they decorate these really beautifully. After you take a picture, I like to slice them up and just have some now and some later. It is a snack that can last several people or several hours, several days, even if you just eat a slice or two. You really don't need much more than that. And they're absolutely fantastic, and they're beautiful to look at. It's amazing to me how well they decorate these apples. They do kind of look just like different characters and stuff like that, and I absolutely love it. Definitely recommend, even if you're not going to buy a treat, walk into the Candy Cauldron at Disney Springs. It's an amazingly themed, very immersive, beautiful place to go in. You feel like you are in the dungeon of Snow White's evil stepmother. It's amazing. Absolutely gorgeously themed and decorated. Definitely go in there. Next, I have the chocolate-covered Rice Krispies. These were less common when I was a kid. You could get them pretty much at the Main Street Confectionery, and I think there was one spot in downtown Disney. Now they're everywhere. Like, every single gift shop you're in has at least one or two, like, flip-flop shaped chocolate-covered Rice Krispie treats. Now they're just absolutely everywhere. They used to be just like a plain square with regular chocolate on top, and it was still fantastic. Chocolate and peanut butter, even more fantastic. But these are a favorite treat for me, just because, like the Mickey Premium Bars, they hold over from when I was really, really little, and they're still there. So if you listen to my podcasts on Patreon or SoundCloud, you know that I'm very nostalgic. I like things that have stuck around from when I was a kid, or even better, things that have stuck around from when Walt was alive. These are my favorite parts of Disney. These are the things that set my dreaming brain a-wandering. So, to me, this treat that's kind of a remnant of my childhood is a favorite of mine. We used to, along with a tip for our housekeeping service, usually leave them a chocolate-covered Rice Krispie treat or some sort of little gift as well, just for all of the hard work they do to make our vacation magical. And it's a lovely gift. It's something that, you know, is usually like, if you don't know if your person you're giving a gift to is a gluten-free kind of person, you can go with this, and usually you're pretty safe. I haven't checked the wheat content of the chocolate itself, but as far as the actual crispy goes, you should be good. So that's a fun, versatile gift. They decorate them very differently now, too. You can get all kinds of designs, and it's pretty cool. So, chocolate-covered Rice Krispie treats at Disney World. Next is kind of an unusual one because there's one specific place to get it. I've only had it once, and it is the chocolate mousse at Le Cellier. That's in Canada in Epcot Center. I've only been there the once, and we went during my birthday week. I think it was just a day or two before my birthday, so I had my Disney pin that said it was my birthday, and so my chocolate mousse, when it came out, he was holding like a little sign that said happy birthday on it, and you're thinking of chocolate mousse like they've just whipped about chocolate, cream, sugar, all of that kind of stuff, but this chocolate mousse is actually shaped like a mousse, like a mousse, yeah, like, I guess it fits with the whole Canada theme, but like an actual antlered mousse. And being from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, we have mousses up here. I haven't seen any personally, but apparently they're up here, so everybody has mousse decorations everywhere. So I was kind of not expecting all the way down in Florida to get a mousse. And so when I ordered chocolate mousse, you know, I thought I'm going to get like this little lovely pile of chocolate. And no, it wasn't. It was a mousse. He had like little eyes. It was just really, really cute. I like that they followed through with that. I know. It's cheesy. I get that. I'm a cheesy person. See the previous number where I talked about being nostalgic. I like cheesy. If you've met my husband, you know I love cheesy. My husband is like the biggest dad jokes aficionado ever. That's part of why he loves the different transportation, the boats, the Jungle Cruise, the Tiki Room, him and his dad jokes. I love cheesy. Cheesy is fantastic. And cheesy chocolate, ooh, not cheesy chocolate mousse, but you know what I mean, kind of corny, dad jokesy chocolate mousse is an actual mousse. I loved it. It was such a pleasant surprise, and it was really adorable, and I love it. Hats off to Le Cellier and their chocolate mousse. It was also, side note, aside from how cute it was also delicious, but the main focus was that it was so adorable, I almost kind of like wanted to hesitate to eat it because it was so cute. So my number one, drum roll, treat at Walt Disney World, the one I have to get every single time I go. Every time. Super important. I don't care how hot it is, I'm hopping my little behind over to Port Orleans French Quarter and getting beignets. I used to get beignets before the beignets were shaped like Mickey Mouse. These are fantastic. I've been to the actual French Quarter in New Orleans and gotten beignets at the Café du Monde, and so, you know, kind of beignets I see as kind of a, are you okay, buddy? My puppy's having dreams. Having nightmares or something. I'll wake him up in a second after this, but the beignets at Port Orleans French Quarter are very much like the beignets at the Café du Monde. Of course, now they're Mickey shaped, so they're a little more themed than they used to be, but it's just kind of a tradition my family and I always had. No matter what resort we were staying at, we would head to the Port Orleans French Quarter and walk around, check out the Dragon Pool, which is absolutely awesome. Check out the Dragon Pool and have some beignets. And so this year, I guess last year now, that when I went with my husband and my family, he and I stepped aside for one afternoon, went down to Port Orleans and got some beignets. So I've kind of brought him into that tradition, and it's so much fun, and it's just a nice little treat. They're actually pretty big. One order was enough for the two of us, so, and it's a snack credit, so we basically split a snack credit that afternoon, and it was August in Disney World, so it was pouring, like can't see your hand in front of your face, downpour. And so we just took a little break right there inside Port Orleans Riverside, and he used a snack credit for some gumbo, I used a snack credit for beignets, and we had like a little mini meal there as we took a break from the rain, and it was a really nice kind of spot to be. And so yeah, definitely check it out. Head down there, get an order of beignets. They make them now right in front of you. You can kind of see into the kitchen area. There's a little window there, and those poor guys, I mean, they are whipping those beignets up as fast as they can make them, and they're delicious, they're fresh, they're hot. Go get some beignets. So that is my number one treat at Walt Disney World. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little different from me reviewing a Disney movie, but I thought we'd try something different. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this commentary and would like to hear more from me, you can check out my podcast at www.patreon.com/shiveringmouse, or you can check me out on SoundCloud. I am always on Facebook and Twitter at shiveringmouse1, and I'll look forward to hearing from you more. And you can catch my Villains Lair episode coming up on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in.